Jannik Sinner just won the ATP Finals. He finished the year ranked number 2 in the world, very close to number 1. He won 2 Grand Slams, and he had one of the best seasons of his career. Now, we know that Jannik Sinner has added versatility to his game. His drop shots have gotten a lot better. He displayed his feel in the first set tiebreak against Alcaraz in the ATP Finals, where he hit 2 spectacular lobs, one on the run with a backhand and then one forehand topspin lob. And we've seen Jannik practice hitting the ball softly, and I've always said on my channel that it's just as important to practice hitting the ball softly as it is to hit the ball hard. So feel is of the utmost importance. Having versatility in your game can add a lot of benefits and can help you beat players that you possibly have had trouble against in the past by utilizing a bigger repertoire of strokes. That certainly has helped Jannik to become the player that he is and to continue to get better and beat a player that's very similar to his level, that's Carlos Alcaraz. But one interesting thing within this added versatility of Jannik Sinner, who's also added an improved volley to his repertoire. One shot that's underutilized in his game is the slice backhand, which brings up an important subject, and that's why I'm making this video. Is it important for Jannik to start utilizing more slice backhands? And the answer is no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because of the strength of his two-handed backhand. So as you guys know, I've covered the Jannik Sinner ground strokes in great depth, and he has somewhat of a low preparation on both his forehand and his backhand. So that's going to help him on fast surfaces where also the ball might bounce lower. For example, on grass, I think Jannik Sinner will give himself chances to win Wimbledon every year that he plays, and he's generally going to be very difficult to beat on fast surfaces and also low bouncing surfaces, not only because of his aggressive play style, but also for the fact that he handles fast balls and low balls well, because that low preparation that he has is also a quick preparation, and he can have an aggressive court position without being rushed and losing his timing. Now, another thing that Jannik Sinner does really well is stay low, and that's possibly due to a skiing background. Jannik Sinner was an exceptional skier, and Jannik Sinner stays really low on his shots when he has to, and he has no issues handling low balls. Carlos Alcaraz is very similar in that regard. Both of these guys handle low balls exceptionally well, and that's why they're so good on grass. But if you combine Jannik Sinner's abilities to get very low on his ground strokes and also that low preparation that he has, he handles low balls exceptionally well. But there's more to the story. Jannik Sinner's backhand is also one of the heaviest backhands on the tour, if not the heaviest. I think Casper Ruud also has a very heavy two-handed backhand, but Jannik Sinner has the combination of a tremendous amount of power on his backhand, but he also adds a lot of RPM. And when it comes to handling low balls, not just at the elite level, but for everyone playing tennis, you have two options where you can hit a quality shot back. So when somebody gives you a low ball, you can slice it back or you can spin it back. Both solutions are going to be good, but what a lot of players do is settle for the slice because it's not so easy to get down there and hit a topspin ball very aggressively when it's that low, because generally when you play a low ball, you will not come out of that low position that you're going to have to get into. I always tell my players, if you play a low ball, one knee must almost be touching the ground when you hit that ball to hit a quality ball. And now because of this low position, you have to maintain the low position somewhat. You're not going to be able to raise your body up and accommodate the swing pad the same way you can on a ball that's in your strike zone. So for those reasons, a lot of players feel uncomfortable hitting topspin on a low ball and end up slicing the ball back. So because Jannik Sinner is so good at handling low balls on the backhand, the fact that he doesn't slice his backhand that much is not a problem at all. But how about the idea of versatility involving more backhand slice to change the rhythm of the point, to possibly take away the rhythm of the opponent? Well, that certainly is opponent dependent, it's score dependent. The context of what's happening in the match is also surface dependent, of course. So if you're utilizing slice backhands, they're going to work really well on grass and clay. And to some extent, they can even work on indoor surfaces, low bouncing fast courts. It is a great strategy to utilize, no doubt about that. But the interesting thing, not only about Sinner, but the modern generation of players, is that they don't really slice the backhand that much. because a lot of players have the abilities to handle low balls with a tremendous amount of spin, and they don't really need to use the slice as a defensive shot that much. Even on the run nowadays, where players in the past might have settled on hitting a slice on the run, now players are so good at hitting open stance backhands, and the defensive backhand has improved tremendously over the past few decades. But in the case of versatility, for Jannik Sinner specifically, it could make sense in certain circumstances, but generally when you have the best two-handed backhand in the world and you decide not to hit it, you actually put yourself at a disadvantage in my opinion. So just because Jannik Sinner's qualities on the backhands are so superior to everybody else on tour, he has an advantage when he gets into backhand exchanges, and he's also exceptionally good at changing directions on the backhand. And even though Carlos Alcaraz does slice the backhand more than Sinner, even for him it doesn't make a lot of sense to slice the backhand when he has that unbelievable two-handed backhand that's the second best on the ATP Tour, right behind Sinner. So in the case of Sinner and Alcaraz, even though Alcaraz is the most versatile player by far on tour, he doesn't slice his backhand that much. Yes, he might hit a lot of drop shots on the backhand, or might even hit short slices. That's different from a true slice backhand that you hit with pace and you're going for a little bit more penetration in the court. That one Carlos doesn't utilize as much, and Sinner utilizes it even less than Alcaraz, and I don't think we're going to see a change in that regard for the reasons explained in this video. Now when it comes to other players, we still have some players who slice quite a few backhands, and that's Grigor Dimitrov and of course Dan Evans, and he slices a lot of backhands. And in the past we had players like Emilio Sanchez or Steve Johnson, and we even saw this on the WTA Tour with Pam Shriver or Steffi Graf, who sliced close to all of their backhands. Now we're going to see this less and less in the coming years on both the ATP Tour and the WTA Tour, possibly due to the modern equipment and strength allowing the players to be very whippy and have the ability to generate topspin off of low balls better than any other time in tennis history. Returning a slice backhand has become less difficult over the last few decades, and hitting a slice backhand has become less of a beneficial tactic. Now, despite what I just said, when I'm talking to you as a coach, I'm telling you to practice your one-handed slice backhand, even if you happen to be a two-handed backhand player, because there is a family of shots in the game of tennis, and that is the one-handed slice backhand, the one-handed backhand volley, and the one-handed backhand drop shot, and the one-handed backhand volley drop shot. All these shots are very similar in the sense that they're all hit with a continental grip, and they all have a similar preparation and a similar swing path. Of course, there are differences between these shots, no doubt about it, but they all have a similar feel to them. So if you practice slice backhands and you get more comfortable, number one, hitting the ball with one arm on the backhand, which is something that's difficult, especially for juniors, this can not only help your one-handed backhand slice, but it can also help your one-handed backhand volley, it can help your drop shots, it can overall improve the feel playing the ball with one arm on your backhand side. So I highly recommend that you practice your backhand slice, and whether you are going to utilize it in a match, I can't give you that advice because that's going to depend on various factors that we might discuss in future videos.